Time for your weekly check-in. How are you holding up? We made it through another week together, you and I. And we... Just another step forward to getting through this. Just... stay with me. And we'll find a way to survive. Alright? Just feel the wind in your hair. Feel a little bit of sunshine coming around this time of year, and hopefully we can find some peace. Welcome back. Where did we leave off? God, it has been a while. Yeah. Let's see. Let's check our statements here. We picked up a whole bunch of statements here. Okay. So we need to figure out what Eubank still wanted with the store that would have led Anton here to try and pull some shady blackmail shit on Harris to steal the deal out from under him. Yeah, when we went it off, we just finished hanging around here with Dad. So, where else can we go? Yeah, I think all we have left to go is... Yeah, you're here. We have Chandra here. Yeah, I think we need to go back to talk to Joy. Welcome back to Eubank Investments. Where were you investigating? Investigating a beautiful future for you. Hi, Joy, what you up to? The wonderful detective in red invited me to help him investigate. He said he could get me out of trouble if I cooperated. But he's currently in the president's office looking around. Thanks for the tip. And you're helping him. Would you help us out as well? Anything for our city's finest. He's such a suck-up. I do like being called finest. You're a glutton for praise, and that's honestly understandable and fair. Real and true of you, Justina. I have something recorded you might want to hear. Ooh? Still at the recording thing. April 30th, 7:05 p.m. Eubank Investments Help Reception Desk. At Owen's request, Lowell tried arranging a meeting between Owen and Anton. When informed, Anton declined the meeting. He gave no reason why. I should look into this later. Beep. I didn't tell Mr. Eubank that he declined the meeting. I'd update our old statement. Ooh. So Mr. Eubank contacted Lowell. How did you find out? I'd best keep that information to myself. It's best not to ask. So what stopped you from telling Mr. Eubank when you got here? Because if I did, I wouldn't be able to eavesdrop on their meeting. 2 meetings worth of juicy information to send back to Vic could get me a handsome paycheck from her. And look how that turned out. Lowell knew the meeting was declined. Anything else we should know? That's all for me. Your detective friend is upstairs. Thanks, Joy. We'll head up there soon. We have a few questions to ask first. Alright. So, we think the Eubanks will let you keep your job? Mrs. Eubank said she'll decide after this case is over. She's a wonderful person. I'm sure she will find it in her heart to forgive me. I'm not going to tell her she fired her maid for this exact reason. Maybe eavesdropping on Anton is different enough from robbery. Yeah, it's family friend versus family directly. How did you get involved with Vivica? She came in one day to have a meeting with Anton. We spoke a bit while she waited. I dropped some juicy rumors on her, and she asked if I could find any proof. Let's just say I know how to get info around here. I'm pretty sure you would have been fired if you got caught. But I didn't get caught. Until today. Juicy rumors, you say? Like what? Vivica wanted info to make the divorce go in her favor, so anything to make him look like a bad father. Big rumor was about his gun and his small collection of ammo hidden in his office. We didn't find any ammo when we were in there earlier. Where would it be? I still don't know. I had to spend 2 days stalking him just to find something for Vivica. The best I could do was catch him and bring him in ammo, then walking out without it. The other detective is currently up at the president's office looking for that ammo. And let's check it. Let's check up on Red. Maybe he found something. Who knew rumors could help us out? Huh. And the deal with ammo, I believe, is that it was Anton's gun that killed him? And Anton only ever kept 1 bullet in his gun. So in order for Anton to have been shot twice, he would have had to have been someplace with his ammo available here. We heard the forensics team were checking Lowell's car. Were they able to finish up? They finished up a while ago. You're welcome to visit the garage again. The mechanic can update you on what they found. Thanks, Joy. Well, ask Meg about it. Yeah, I gotta check up on her. Alright. We've been through this rigmarole. Let's check up on Meg before we go upstairs. My favorite detectives, welcome back. Hey, Meg. We heard forensics finished looking over Lowell's car. Do you happen to have the details? I sure do. Ooh, alright. What do you got? The forensics team looked over the whole car, both the trunk and the seats. They found small traces of blood and bits of white carpet in it. The blood belongs to Anton, and the carpet matches the one in his office. Other than that, there was nothing unusual, except this paper found inside the glove box. It has S2021 written on it. Oh, better update Meg's statement. Alright. What does S2021 mean? You two are the detectives. Isn't it your job to figure it out? I mean, yeah, but why must we do all the hard work? At least Lowell could do is write down what it is. Come on, Justy, what's your sense of adventure? Figuring this out is half the fun. Is it so wrong to just want all the answers to be given to me? Then you should have been a detective. After this case, I went back to just being the clerk. I wasn't a detective. I'm a clerk. I meant to do filing. Administrative work. I not meant to do this. God dang it. Thanks for the update, Meg. You're welcome. Got finishing touches to do on Anton's car. Good luck on the case. Oh, alright. Forensics team. What were the forensics team like? I haven't gotten a chance to meet them. Honestly, pretty boring. They only talked to me after they finished up. I think they just needed someone to relate the results to you. They wouldn't even let me look at the car. They wanted to pick apart this car just a little. Sorry, Meg. The forensics team is filled with straightforward people. They tend to get overworked, so they don't have time to casually talk. Good to know I'm not missing anything by not meeting them. They're shy when spooked. No blue car. This garage looks so much emptier now. Mr. Eubank took his car back home. He would let me a nice tip for watching over the cars. You got paid just to be here? That's how he treats his employees. Maybe I should get a job here. I heard an executive assistant position has just opened up. You should apply. On second thought, no. I don't think I'm enough of a bootlicker to take Lowell's previous job. Real. Alright. Let's go back up. There you two are. Sue told me that the big man himself is being brought in for questioning soon. Hey, Red, you heard right. Owen Eubank himself is coming by. We need all the evidence we can get. Have you got anything? Not yet. I've been searching Anton's desk. I tried to get into his computer, but I had no luck so far. It's password protected. There's also some updates on the autopsy report. As you know, Anton Chambers was shot twice. However, gunshot residue was just found on his coat's right arm. First shot was a non-fatal shot to the abdomen, striking his right rib. Second was a fatal shot that pierced the heart, from which death was almost instantaneous. After the bullets were removed, they were tested for fingerprints. Despite their best efforts, we couldn't lift any fingerprints off of either one. Alright, do I just update his previous statement with this new info? Fingerprints can be found on bullets? Forensics have ways of looking fingerprints on bullets, but it's very rare. Most of the time, the fingerprints get smudged to the point it's unusable. They hope that Anton, being a gun enthusiast, likely touched it, so that they could be able likely touched it so much that they would be able to get a clean print. He almost got something off the first bullet, but no luck. The second bullet had no chance, so there's no way to prove he loaded it. Like the bullet, and not like the bullet casing? That seems a little weird. Bullet casing, yeah. Shell casing, yeah. I can see. The bullet, it's a bit iffy, I feel like. Going off of vibes. But how is the lack of fingerprints useful? We take what we can get. Perhaps it will come in handy. The gunpowder on his coat is what interests me. Where'd that come from? They believe he must have fired a gun sometime before he died. However, we can't say exactly when or what type of gun. That was the bullet he fired upwards of the alleyway. Could have come from that? Forensics tested it, but doesn't match. See, the gunpowder only matches if he fired the gun around 3 feet from the ground. Maybe he shot at someone else with a third bullet. If so, we need to find proof soon. If he shot at someone else, they might have the bullet still inside them. Uh-oh. Mandarin Ron Karma style, oh no. Gunpowder evidence should be updated as well. Ballistics also has an update for us. Both bullets fired at the murder weapon and entered the body perpendicularly. We're close to their respective entry points perpendicularly, okay. He was standing. What? Close to their respective entry. So he shot at close range. I mean, was that not obvious? It's official now. No room for doubt. I'll add to the evidence. Thanks, Red. For now, let's look around the place. Alright, what did we miss? What have you been up to since we brought Joy in? Got the case file from yesterday all cleaned up and ready for you two. Yesterday's case file? It certainly saves me time, but why'd you do that? Something about yesterday's case left me wondering. What was Anton going to do about the flash drive? So I looked over the whole case. Did you find something? Nothing at all. Something tells me it might be important, so I got it for you two. I'll take it off your hands. Interesting. Come to think of it, you know a lot about forensics, Sophie. Oh no, I just know what every good detective should know. I doubt it. Detective Hunt started speaking about fingerprints. I'd assume he was an imposter. It hurts, but it's true. Did Sophie not tell you she wanted to go into forensics at one point? She didn't. Why am I finding out now? It's not a big deal. I knew I wanted to get into criminal justice and I thought about lab work. Oh. Back in high school, I used to study it for fun. But over time, I wanted to be involved in helping the city directly. Being behind a desk all day wasn't for me. So I joined the police academy and worked my way up to becoming a patrol officer. And forensics sounds cool. You should have stayed in that path. And now she can use that knowledge as a detective. If you ask me, more police should learn forensics. A lot of bad arrests could be avoided if they learned the basics. Well, it's respectable. All right. Alright. Hey, detective, do you think something might be a clue within these books? Nah, I don't think it's the kind of person to hide something in such an obvious place. You don't know that. I bet there's a secret hidden here. What else would he have on these books? They look smart. Someone goes in and sees all these books and says, wow, he's smart. Or perhaps, bear with me, he read them all before. No, he was rich. He would pay someone to read them for him. I'm gonna dig into these and look for clues. There's 59 books in this room. Are you sure you want to check all of them? On second thought, maybe he just wants to look smart. Alright, there's that cool chair. Do you think these fancy chairs are, what's the word, useful? Like, they serve a purpose besides show it off? Oh, I want to try. Detective Swift, you know we can't tamper with the evidence until it's been properly documented. Yes, sir. I'll write down everything about it. All that just to sit on a chair? You don't be too careful on the job. Sue hates it when you don't document the evidence properly. I inspected every Good job. I inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. It's all clear. And by all means, sit all you like. It's soft and comfy. And why do you look so sad? Now I want one. Best not to look up the price. Your wallet shouldn't know. Your wallet will thank you later. Miss Assistant, do you know what's written on here? Nope. Looks like just numbers and shapes to me. When I looked earlier, Lowell said, this information is strictly yada yada yada. I bet he doesn't even know what it means. Sophie, help me move this. Yes, sir. Safe. Move it over here. Perfect. Is that a safe? I knew there's something hidden. I knew there's something hiding in there. But how did you... If he was willing to bring a package of illegal bullets here, he must have had some place to hide them. Then how do we get in? Looks like he needs a code. Justin, do you have any evidence that might help? Evidence to help us open this safe. I have something I should bring it to Detective Hunt. We might just have something. Do you think people on the street ever look up and see us looking down on them? Do they know if we are judging them from our tower? No, why worry about that when people on the street level are already judging you? Fair point. Hey, Detective, what do you see from up here? In from this window? Yeah. Lowell asked me the same question. I'm wondering what you think. I think it's a city of people. Wow, real rich though. Do you also think that chicken tastes like chicken? What I mean is, people of all kinds of backgrounds live here. Doesn't matter the culture, origin, or background. We're all people of the city. The only dividing factor is money. If everyone was the same, it wouldn't be the city I know and love. Ah, that's deeper than I expected from you. Don't worry, I'm still a chicken tasting like chicken kind of guy. I just ask myself every day why I serve this city. I do it because of these people. I won't want to work anywhere else in this world. Huh. What's this evidence? Need to open the safe. Got any ideas? Here's the proof. Take that. Forensics found this paper in Lowell's car. Put S2021 at the safe combo. We'll give it a try. Ding! Looks like forensics was right on the money. It's open. Let's check inside. And what do we have here? It's his own private collection of gun accessories here. This guy really liked guns, huh? He has a hobby that is a bit too much for my liking. Oh, check this out. Leftover bullet boxes. This looks like... Oh! A pack of bullets. That's it? I expected something more illegal. Because these are hollow point bullets. What are hollow point bullets? Here it is. They create a wider wound when they hit someone. Azure City made them illegal for civilians because they can be more dangerous than standard bullets. But politics aside, something more important is missing. This isn't a full package. 2 bullets are missing. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I think so. Is there any way to prove any of the bullets that shot Anton were from this box? And I'll send this info to our coroner, Rebecca. She can confirm if the bullets match. Something else. A clock? What's this doing here? I know that clock. It's on the wall over there. Sunday night. Come to think of it. Oh yeah. Clock and rug. Remember now, Joy said she saw the clock was missing. It took you long enough. Which is why you're the assistant and I'm the master. But it catch as always, Red. And why hide a clock in here? It's stuck at 8 p.m., so I think it's broken. No one didn't want anyone to find this. As for why, I'll leave that to you two. Clock, huh? I'm gonna write all this down. I'm gonna replace the chalkboard evidence with a safe and update all of it. Going back to bullets. What's with all these empty boxes? Where did all the other bullets go? I got intel saying he would practice at a private shooting range with his gun. Wonder how let someone as minor as illegal bullets be ignored. There are some really stubborn gun lovers in this country, there sure are. So if he does use them regularly, that would explain... Ah shit, that would explain why he needed more. So why was the code to the safe in Lowell's car? Oh, my dear assistant, you asked the wrong question. Mr. Detective Swift, what's the more important question? Let me think. Is it, who else knows the code to this safe? Exactly. You can worry about how he knows later. Someone opened this safe, and so far only Lowell and Anton could have opened it. Do you think Mr. Eubank? If you don't know, don't speculate. Just keep it in mind for now. I'm going to update next statement. All right. Now that you found the safe, what do you do now? With all the evidence in the safe, you can say I have plenty of ammo. I'm sure you're just gunning to go after them. Your pawn game's getting good. I have no more to teach you. But yes, I want to look into where he got the hollow point bullets. Bet he smuggled those into the city. You two got a murder to solve. Leave this smuggling case to me. We won't let you down, sir. Solving a smuggling case sounds fun. Hope we get a chance to help him someday. Again, more teasers for future fun that we could have. Where we gotta go here? Got a lot of thinking to do. But we should go next. All right, thinking time. I think the first place we should go here is back to see Dad. The number one thing we can figure out right now, the number one question we can answer right now, I think is why Eubank wants the store. Okay, this is relevant to why they want to snag up property, but I don't think it directly answers his question. But Annie's thing here is, yeah, they want to convert old property into new luxurious apartments and other shit. Is this right? Objection. We have a witness who found out that Anton had been trying to gather property around the city. Anton could have used this property's location for profitable development. He already tried that with an orphanage, and he was willing to do it again here. Just why we're trying to get as much information as possible. Why would he need property so badly? Property so badly. Oh, no! It's the bank loan. Take that. It seems like he needs to keep gaining property to keep the company afloat. Even if it's connected to his death. The thing is that the timing is impeccable otherwise. You know anything about Anton that could help us out? I see. I don't know how helpful it is, but I can tell you a story. A full story about what happened 10 years ago. Oh? You mean when the store was bought? Justina told me yesterday. There's a bit more to the story her mother and I left out. 10 years ago, Saul and I were looking to start a business and came across Eubank Investments. As you know, Luna was hurt, and we spoke with the Eubanks at the time. Justina might have said that they simply agreed, but they didn't. As Luna's hospital bills were piling up, Saul pleaded with the Eubanks for support, but they ignored him. He wanted them to pay for the hospital bill and admit they had lied about the quality of the building. But they refused to listen. You never told me about this. We were 12 at the time, and a simple story was easier to explain. Anton in particular was refusing to budge on one bit of the matter. He said that it was the building construction company's fault and that they were in no way liable. I told Saul that he was at fault for not bringing a safety inspector with him. Saul threatened to press charges against them for lying about the state of the building, and that finally got their attention. We spent hours in a single room trying to reach an agreement. It was all pushed to court. And suddenly Mrs. Eubank gave in to our demands. Ferris did. She gave us the building and paid for Luna's hospital bill, provided we dropped the case. I'll update your statement. Why did you give in later? I can't say. Maybe it was Justina's mom. She was ready to throw a chair if I didn't stop her. You would think she was Luna's mom. Anton was not happy, but was powerless to stop it. I mean, hey, we're so close. Honestly, Luna had 2 moms and 2 dads. She's living her best life. And she deserves every bit of that love. Anton was unhappy, but he was powerless to stop it. But wasn't he the president? He was. Mr. Eubank took his wife's side, and that was that. That's why Mr. Eubank did that. My guess is they were married at the time. Of course he would support his wife. What if Anton ever let that go? That's the full story of how we got the store. Why didn't you tell me about this? You hid all those details for 10 years. Those 7 days of fighting weren't all for this building. They were for Luna, too. We didn't want their money out of greed, but to have them pay for hurting her. We agreed to tell you and your sister a nicer story. There's enough hate in this world. We don't want the hate to be a cycle. When this all started, I was sure the Eubanks were kind and friendly because of what you told me. That's why I joined the embezzlement case on my first day. And how were they when you met them? Mrs. Eubank clearly was as kind as I was told. Mr. Eubank, he's scarier. A liar and controlling, but I don't see him as a murderer. Yeah, Mr. Eubank is a lot more gray. Like, he very clearly has love for his daughter. But he's way more gray than Ferris. Ferris, I believe, as the voice of reason coming out of this. Even if, like at the time, she was still in the insular mindset of circle the wagons and do the nice thing to protect the family. This whole case, it's so complex. I don't know how we will solve it. I don't know if anything I told you will help you find the culprit, but if anyone can catch them, it's you. You really think so? You got that fire in your eyes, like a furnace, ready to make beautiful glass. I've known you all your life, but I've never seen you more invested in anything like these cases. Even if no one calls you a detective, you are one to me. Trust me, I don't have to go that far for someone to call me one, but, thanks. They needed that. I'm still a little mad at you and Mom for hiding it. When you have kids someday, you'll understand. I think that's all we can get here. Well, I mean, I don't know about that, Dad, but I'm sure Sophie will always tell our kids the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Owen overruled Anton, which made Anton resentful. What can we do with this information? Well, after getting that information from, Dad, with no indication, I would consider this a small flaw here after I spent like 20 minutes off-screen trying to make something click in terms of, comparing statements. Once we got that bit from, like, the only piece of all the statements we had to review, the only piece of them that fit together was, Dad's. And after that, now the plea deal's ready, so now we can advance the plot. I would classify this as a bit of a flaw. Like, it would have been nice to know that the plea deal was ready and that everything else wasn't relevant. Mom, we don't want to miss this. Are you sure this deal is worth it? He moved a dead body and just throwing his own boss under the bus. Are we sure we can trust him? Too late now? Come on. I really hope she knows what she's doing. I'm glad you can all make it. Mr. Eubank is in the interrogation room. He'll be ready if Lowell keeps his end of the deal. I will only accept concrete proof. Anything less, and I will demand defamation charges against my husband. Against your husband? Oh, defamation charges defamation charges for Lowell. For defaming Owen. I have quite the audience. It's an honor to be the one solving this little case. Without further ado, here you go. A photo I took right after Anton died. What happened? When I arrived, he was already like this. I simply took a picture. If his body hit the desk, that would explain why the phone turned off and Joy couldn't eavesdrop. Where is Anton's body? It's out of the frame because he fell close to the door. Can't see it with the blood because of the angle. We confirmed the time was at 8:05 that night. I see. I'll add to the evidence. Huh. John's body is out of frame. Taken at 8:05 that night. Mrs. Eubank, if you need me, I will be in the interrogation room with my client. I won't speak of this evidence until then. Well, I did my part. Now if you'll excuse me. Mr. Ledger, you will remain here. On what grounds? All charges have been dropped, remember? We need to determine whether this photo and the crime scene have been tampered with. Once you verify the authenticity, you will be free to go. Fine, but everything I gave is real. I look forward to being let go. Guess that's our cue to head to the interrogation room. Alright. Yeah, I wish they would have made it clearer that that was the key to that you could all but end things there. Unless there's extra information that I'm missing that I just couldn't figure out how to resolve the remaining statements here. Owen Eubank, thank you for being here. I've been informed of what Lowell has said. And he has lied to the police and put my company at risk. I am no murderer. I understand your concern, but there are a lot of questions we need answers to. And we hope you can answer them. And there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for what happened. My client was blackmailed. Blackmailed by whom? Lowell? I couldn't say anything or else he would pin the murder on me. If the press got that photo, my whole company would fall apart. Then my family. All I did was make him president and he would help hide all this. Ha! Since it seems he intends to put it all on me anyway, I will defend myself. If you're serious, then there's one key question to all of this. Do you know how Anton Chambers died? I was attacked. I was afraid for my life. I had to defend myself. And that means... It was you, Justina, please. Chill. My client was invoking his right to self-defense. What that he would have brought up to the police had Lowell Ledger not attempted to blackmail him. Alright. Detective, can you just get away with it if it's self-defense? A legal definition of self-defense provides 3 factual elements. Justified fear, inability to escape, and using force only when needed. To assert your claim of self-defense, you will need to explain how you met all 3 elements. Mr. Eubank, the matter of you being blackmailed can be saved for later. My client can satisfy the legal definition, you will soon see. And let's start from the beginning. Mr. Eubank, can you please explain what led to him attacking you? Yes. Give me a moment to remember. Owen Eubank's meeting him in person. While at home, something important popped up that required me to meet with Anton. I contacted Lowell to set up a meeting so we could discuss it in person. We agreed to meet in order to talk about the future of our business. As I parked my car, I headed straight for his office. When I got there, he pointed his gun at me and threatened me. I still don't know why. What happened after he attacked you? Patience, Justy. We need to make sure his story lines up step by step. We need to focus on the statement first. I better confirm he's telling the truth here. He really wants to make it seem as if he was tricked. I doubt if it's that simple. Oh, hold it. You mind clarifying what something important popped up means? That is private company information and unrelated to this case. But him showing up at the office is important. How do we know he didn't just go to the office to murder Anton? If you let me finish my story, I will explain. Go ahead, we're all ears. Hold it. Why did you have to meet in person? Why not over the phone or video? Phones can be tapped and videos can be recorded. Can be tapped or it can be observed. Or phones can be tapped or they can be eavesdropped on old school style. That's why I prefer my meetings face to face, but better for keeping out nosy people. And yet Joy was able to outsmart him. Now that I think about it, why did you go to his office? Why did you hold a meeting in your office? I don't have an office there. It was a very important meeting. I couldn't wait. It was just simpler if I went to him. And how do you know you wanted to speak with him? Alright, we agreed to meet. But Joy said, and Tom rejected the meeting. You had a meeting to talk about the future? That doesn't sound important. Those are the words of a follower. Do as you are told and move on. The missionaries of the world know that the future is always important. You make investments in a company built for the future. Planning for tomorrow is the most important task. That is why it is so important. I see. Just smile and nod. Justina, pretend to understand him. Oops. He pulled his gun at you the moment you got there? He didn't say anything? I think I skipped a statement. My client did nothing to provoke him. Anton pulled his gun on my client without warning. It was so sudden, he had justified fear of dying. That's one requirement for self-defense completed. Something tells me she's covering for her client. Hold it. Did you see or hear anyone on your way there? Not a soul. I thought Anton and Lowell were the only ones there. Would you say that you were the only Eubank there? Of course, Ferris was at home. This meeting was between Anton and I. Mrs. Eubank still hasn't told him about Fee's adventure. We should just keep that to ourselves. See, we dispute this here. I think Lowell might have framed. If Lowell blackmailed Owen like this, then Lowell framed. Objection. Slap. Mr. Chambers had no intention of meeting with you. You set a meeting with Mr. Chambers, but he declined it, meaning he didn't want to meet with you. How did you... I contacted Lowell to have the meeting, and he said Anton was free at the time. Asking him to set it up isn't the same as having Mr. Chambers agree to it. If I set a meeting, it happens. He's allowed to decline. My client wouldn't even know until arriving there. We already have your witness's testimony stating that he left our house before he was informed. What witness are you talking about? Who saw me leaving my own house? It's a long story. Even if he did leave before finding out, what matters is that Mr. Chambers didn't want to see him. And why is that? You're asking the wrong man. I cannot explain his actions. But he wouldn't have attacked you for no reason. So it's in your best interest to tell us what the meeting was about. I refuse. I'm going to state my reasons for self-defense, not talk business. If he attacked you, this could help explain your need for self-defense. Reasonable. I mean, I get the need for business. Untransparency, but like, come on, it helps your case to be more forthcoming. Seems I have no choice. The B2... The what? B2TM plan? Bottom plan? A meeting was on finalizing details of the B2TM plan. It was our company to grow beyond the walls of this city, to expand across the whole country. Anton and I both shared the same vision for the future of our company. We just had a few key metrics to work out, which we normally settle in my office. Since he had another meeting in his office beforehand, I decided to just go to him. These two seem to be on too good of terms to result in murder. Mr. Eubank wants everything to seem in his favor, but we have evidence he doesn't know about. Let's pick apart his story. Hold it. What's the B2TM plan? I'm glad you asked. It's our back to the mission plan. We spent so long building up Azure City, we forgot our original mission. To build the infrastructure of the world, one city at a time. Why not call it BTTM plan? The 2T was mine idea. I thought a number would be more fun to say. Exactly, that's why we are a team. Never would have thought of such a brilliant name change. I love you, Ferris. You are so pretty and smart and... I see. Corporate lingo is weird. It's cute they both came up with a name together. Honestly. Hold it. Has Eubank Investments only worked in Azure City? Not completely. We had a few projects right across the bay. Nothing big compared to our future. Azure City is the heart of our company, so our attention has been first and foremost here. But soon that will change. I must say that sounds quite ambitious. My client has always been ambitious. It's one of the things I appreciate about him. Her white persona was totally about to show. Hold it. Was anyone else aware of these plans? Someone else at Eubank Investments who would disagree. The B2TM plan is not finalized yet. Only myself and Anton knew about it. Might you be forgetting someone? Oh yes, I lovely wife as well. We were planning to announce our plans once the three of us agreed on all the details. No one else, not even Lowell, was aware. If anyone else was aware, these two weren't the ones to share it. We'd better move on. Hold it. Would these key metrics cause him to pull his gun at you? Of course not. You think a simple threat would make me change my mind? My client's story said Anton pulled his gun out at my client without saying anything. If he wanted to threaten my client, he would make his demands clear from the start. Not saying anything is suspicious, but we can't disprove that. There has to be a better opening in his story. Hold it. Did you know who he was meeting with? I didn't. It was only today that I found out he met with Detective Hunt. Had I known, I would have shown up sooner and stopped him. Why's that? Anton Chambers was supposed to speak with him yesterday. Requesting to speak with him the day before implies we intended to bribe the police. It will only make Eubank Investments look bad. Anton clearly didn't care about reputation or Owen if he was willing to offer dirt on him. What do we have? The question is, where do we work this out here? I guess I did save that there. Right. I wonder if we present Annie's testimony here. Objection. Slap. Mr. Eubank, Mr. Chambers' actions say otherwise. I'm sure you're aware Mr. Chambers was supposed to be brought in for questioning today. He said big that he wanted to use underhanded methods to take over the orphanage to build townhouses on the land. He clearly wanted more property inside the city. So we know he didn't agree with you. That deal took place in March. The B2M plan started only recently. Yes, of course. He must have changed his mind since. But he never disclosed the sale of the orphanage to you. He hid that because he knew you would disagree. Well, both my client and I were completely unaware of his actions. Had we known, he would have stopped him doing so at once. As far as my client knew, they agreed on this plan together. Mr. Mr. Eubank, it seems you and Anton had different views of the company. Can you share how different you two could be? Detective, I don't see how such a question is connected to the case at hand. Your client claims he was attacked, but we want to know why. You are asking the wrong person, Detective. When I went to see him, he attacked me. The only thing I can tell you is how I defended myself. He's right, Detective. Why haven't we focused on that? We will get there in due time. Sophie's got a plan. I don't think Mr. Chambers pulled his gun out for no reason. I think something happened in that room that led to Mr. Chambers dying. Detective, I'm the victim here. I was attacked by Anton, then blackmailed by Lowell. You're doing nothing but digging around in mud just to get me on a murder charge. You claim self-defense, not me. That only works if you're honest. Otherwise, it's just murder. Detective, my husband is no murderer. And finding out why he was attacked should prove it. Fine. The sooner this is over, the better. Business partners. Alright. It's only natural that he and I disagreed on a few things. We've been a team for years, seeing eye to eye on every major issue. His data analysis skills were second to none when deciding our path forward. We negotiated our company to where it is today. That's why I can't imagine what caused him to suddenly attack me. There's gotta be a reason Anton would pull his gun. What kind of conflict would escalate the violence? It has to be something he wouldn't want us to know. Hold it. The two of you often disagree? I'd admit we butted heads a few times. We saw eye to eye more times than not. Looks like you wanted to say yes. They did have different personalities. Perhaps it's the nature of a partnership. Everything? Seeing eye to eye so often must be tough. How'd you manage? Something that a strong leader is one who never backs down. Those people are wrong. Leadership is about knowing who to trust and which ideas are valuable. Only a fool is stubborn enough to think that they know everything. That's why Anton and I go along so well. We trusted each other's experience. Hold it. What does data analysis skills mean? It's the art of visualizing and the purpose of data and creating. It's the art of visualizing the purpose of data and creating easy to understand representations of quantitative and qualitative data in order to help communicate our company's goals. Come again? It means he knows how to look at data and decide what to do with it. Oh, that's simple enough. Why can't business people just state the obvious? That'd be too easy. You're the negotiator. So you were the deal maker for Eubank Investments. Of course, I can get any deal to work with enough time. I was able to get my wife to marry me after all. And she drove a hard bargain too. Wouldn't accept anything less than a lifelong partner. But he's kept his end of the deal since. Oh, how wonderful! You two make such a wonderful couple! You're gonna move on before she starts asking for wedding photos. Given your different skill sets, maybe he was jealous. He would kill you and take over your company. We are not a monarchy. Killing you would not give him ownership. He was out of his mind pulling his gun out on me. Owen, please calm down. Their theory is nothing more than speculation. Sorry, I shouldn't have lost control. Wife or lawyer? She might be the only person who can control him. Where are you, Dad? Objection. Slap. There's a major issue that you disagreed with Mr. Chambers about. 10 years ago, to be exact. What are you talking about? Talking about Eubank Investments' first project in the Sunrise District. It was an accident in one of the stores, and in the end, the store was sold. The Soul Heart. Remember the glassmaker told us that Mr. Chambers refused to accept any blame. But you outranked him and agreed to sell it at a discount. It was 10 years ago. How do you know that? That glassmaker is my dad, and the one who was hurt was my friend. Your dad is right. I sided against him when we started. My dad doesn't know why. Can you explain that? We have a personal divergence here, but hey, we might be honest. There might be something here. If you must know, it's because I asked him to. When Luna was hurt, Vi had only been a few months old. First I was on Anton's side, choosing to fight the claims that it was our fault, and hearing both your parents and Soul talk about the injury to Luna. I just couldn't do it. How could I be a mother and tell other parents that their daughter's life wasn't our fault? So I asked Owen to try and help them. Ferris was right. If that had happened to our daughter, we would have done what your parents did. Anton was also a parent at the time, but he didn't see it our way, and that's why he's divorced. Thought accepting the blame would only make us look weak, which he said is a death sentence for a company like ours. I trusted my wife more than I trusted him, so I made my choice. Then what happened? He told us he would accept our judgment and let it go. It was just one building, and the district was big enough that we didn't need all of it. He never truly let it go. Disagreements can lead to more violent solutions. Don't tell me you think. I'm saying that the two of you got into a heated debate, and it escalated into violence. Escalation is a two-way street. This is nothing more than speculation. Ooh. We are a team. He attacked me suddenly when we were supposed to have a meeting. Yes, I pulled rank on him in the past, but only when needed. And yes, him still buying the store is against the B2M plan. B2TM plan. But our company had a bright future, long before that night. When he attacked me, he threw all that away. Detective, you kind of made him angry. All the more reason to push this. We are getting close, I can feel it. If those two had an argument, we must get to the bottom of it. Hold it. A meeting he intended to skip. He wasn't interested in talking to you. There are some meetings he's allowed to say no to. And holding my client at gunpoint isn't how one declines a meeting. Right, you can't say no to your boss like that. I can't even think of aiming a gun at Sue. I bet the bullet would be too scared to even come out. Pulling rank? Did you pull rank on him often? Of course not. I'm not some micromanaging CEO. I always valued his opinion and trusted him. I wouldn't let anyone tell me how to run my company. If I must put my foot down, I will. Or in your case, your umbrella. The store? So buying the store was not your idea. Anton's plan went completely behind my back. The head of the legal department would have discussed this matter with me personally. And what would he have done if he didn't die? I can't predict what would have happened, but if I had to guess, he would have worked with a member of my legal team. They could have completed the work under my nose and settled it without my knowledge. Not that he would have gotten away with it for long. Maybe if we didn't solve the embezzlement case, she would have figured it out on her own. Huh. Possible. Then again, uncertain. Because solving the cases we did so far, like the Ferris in front of us now, probably could have figured it out on her own. But that's after we influenced her to some degree. The Ferris before, I don't know. Not 100% clear. Not out of the question, but not 100% clear. What do you mean by a bright future? I have plans in mind for our company, plans that could change everything for us. While there is some risk, I've never been more sure of the company's future. The details are better saved for a future press release. You could have shared that future with us. Was there a chance to de-escalate him holding the gun? I was scared and thought he would shoot. I didn't have time to think of a way. My client was completely caught by surprise. His actions afterwards were completely in self-defense. We need more information before we can deny that. Best move on for now. Now it's time we bring this bullet out. Objection. Slap. A bright future. Except that isn't true. We have sources that say the company's been in the red. We need new property to get more investors or a loan from the bank. The information is not public knowledge. The police leaked that information. Mr. Eubank, we have no intention of doing so. We only want to solve this case. You and Mr. Chambers had a fight. Would it have been related to the company's financial situation? And that's why you didn't want to tell us. That makes sense. It was attacked. I was afraid for my life. I had to defend myself. Stop saying that! He has to say it. It's required to claim self-defense. That said, his lawyer seems awfully quiet. Ferris? Mrs. Eubank, is what we just said news to you? I did know, but I only found out 2 days ago. Ferris, you're not going to tell them. Oh, and I completely believe you're innocent. What happened to Anton was not your fault. But these two are good people. If there's anyone I trust to solve this case, it would be them. 10 years ago, you trusted my judgment. Please, trust me again. When we got married all those years ago, I told you there was no other person I would trust with my life. If you believe it's important to share it, then I trust you. Thank you, Owen. How did you find out 2 days ago? After everything with Anton, I was preparing his defense the day before he was supposed to come in. Regardless of his actions at the orphanage, I was going to make sure our company's image wasn't damaged. That's when I uncovered something. Our company had stopped growing, with some investments not paying off as expected. Owen never told me. I handled all the legal matters, but he purposely kept some details away from me. You two had a fight, I remember. And that had been about this. So I confronted him, and we started yelling. He should keep out the part where Fee overheard them. I told her at the time I would handle it. He had been trying to keep the company going by any means possible. He even started selling some of my older golf trophies to cover some expenses. Trophies? Surely they can't be that expensive. It wasn't much, but even a little bit of money helps. Doctors would pay around 1 million alms for one. Ah, what? That's more than I would have ever seen in my life. I had a deal in Appleton ready, and I was sure it would fix everything. Anton wanted to keep investing in properties in Azure City. I couldn't afford to do both, so we needed to pick one. It was only after the embezzling that I started having doubts, but I wanted to handle it without needing the police. And if the orphanage deal came to light, I still wanted to give him a chance. We were supposed to meet after everything with the police was settled. Once Ferris found out what I was hiding, I needed to speak with him that night. And you left it in the middle of the night. I had Lowell schedule our meeting, and I needed to keep it. I figured once I met with him, then I could explain it better to Ferris. When I got back home, I couldn't let her know he was in the office at all. I wanted to keep my family away from Lowell's blackmail. Lowell says you offered the job to him. You said it was blackmail. Of course, Lowell would say you offered the job to him. You offered the job to him to help me cover it up. This is Eubank. Were you aware of this before today? No. Owen only told me after Lowell asked for a plea deal. Mr. Eubank, what happened when you got there? When I got there, Anton told me he had to go. That's when I stopped him, telling him we had some important matters to discuss. He tried to push past me, and I told him he wouldn't leave until it was done, until we were done. I had plans set in motion in Appleton, and unless he had something bigger, we were going to present my plans to the bank. That's when he pulled his gun on me. I was so surprised my monocle popped off. It popped off? Well, only my right eye had proper vision for the next few minutes. I couldn't put a new one in, so what happened next is a bit messy. He said, "You think that backwater town is going to save this company? You can't make a profit from poor farmers. But step aside before you regret it. Something important happened tonight that I need to settle." I'd update his statement. So you could have stepped aside but didn't. Why engage him after he pulled the gun? As an exception to the legal definition of self-defense, our company's castle doctrine affords a person a special privilege. They can stand their ground in any place they own, including a place of business. My client was attacked inside Eubank Investments, which he owns. Thus, under castle doctrine, he can continue to claim self-defense even if he had the ability to escape. What's castle doctrine? One's place is their castle, and they have a right to protect it. Applying it to one's company is a new one for me, but that's not the interesting part. What does something important happen tonight that I need to settle mean? I don't know. At the time I didn't think about it. Perhaps we know. Here's what Mr. Chambers considered to be important from that night. That's the, Harris Newbuck case. Take that. There's one matter that he could be dealing with. Harris Newbuck. He used his taser on Mr. Chambers right before stealing his flash drive and running off. If Anton was determined enough, he might have gone after Harris to get it back. That would make sense. Mr. Eubank, do you think Mr. Chambers would do it? Let me think. Oh? What are we thinking? I hate to say it, but Anton had a strong personality. He went to his office to meet with a detective instead of going after Harris. Could have gone back to load his gun, but he only had one bullet that night. Yet he raised his gun at me. He would have shot me if I hadn't acted fast. We got our confession, right? The only thing my client is admitting to is being the one who started it. He isn't admitting to murder. She's right. I think there's something strange in his recounting of the story. We should point that out first. Hold it. Has he ever used that strong personality to threaten others? I invoke my right to remain silent. Eubank Investments takes no responsibility for any actions Anton Chambers has taken as president. However, Eubank Investments is open to cooperate with any investigation as long as a warrant is provided. This time we accept no further freaking legalese. And truly the art of saying nothing. The reason was to bribe Detective Hunt. He likely felt he couldn't skip the meeting. It wasn't even to bribe Detective Hunt, was it? It was more to just, it was more to just say, your case is dead. Your case is dead, and I am, your case is dead, detective, and I am teabagging its corpse. Eubank Investments takes no responsibility for any actions Anton Chambers attempted toward any members of law enforcement. His actions were his own and have remained independent of Eubank Investments' cooperation with the police. Request that his actions not be deemed as bribery without further proof. We can't use Ernest or Joy's recordings, we don't have any proof. But regardless, this looks like a dead end. Is it possible to load a second bullet? He never loaded more than one shot. He was too proud. Plus, his favorite scare tactic was showing that he had only one bullet in his gun. If he was going after Harris, he would likely do that again. How could he work with a guy who does that? I'd be scared half to death if I had to work with him. Yeah. What made you so certain he would? Was the teeth like two blocks of stone crashing against each other? Never seen him so angry at anything in his life. I knew I was a bit harsh in getting an answer. I never saw him that angry before. He did get tased, stolen from, and failed to make a deal with our detective. He might have been the last straw before he snapped. I see. If only I knew. If he started, he truly regrets it. False. The bullet was missing, then it must have been taken. This does explain where it went. There's better evidence to explain the missing bullet? False. What's that? That won't work on us, Mr. Eubank. Here's what you got wrong. So did I check out your... I see, nothing of the sort here. My client there is the most brilliant man at Eubank Investments. That won't work on him. Most brilliant man might be a bit much. Perhaps it's a marriage thing. Thinking your partner is smarter than they really are. That's the good side of the marriage trope. That's the wholesome side of the marriage trope. Two bullets missing on a pack. False. I'm getting the shooting itself, but I don't think this will help us. Why did they save the ballistics report for later? Look this again. Load a second bullet. Never load more than one. The implication here... No, don't do that. That says 2 bullets. Slap. Nope. Slap. Okay, we'll go with this. Slap. Mr. Eubank, there's a problem with that theory. Anton Chambers was shot twice by his own gun, and his gun was loaded with a second bullet. Oh. What do you mean he was shot twice? Were you unaware that the first shot wasn't lethal? When he raised his gun at me, I fought back. I hit his leg with my umbrella, and while Anton was distracted, fought to keep his gun within view of my right eye. We ended up hitting the wall at some point, then a bang. What happened next, I can't remember. It happened so fast, and the next thing I knew, my back hit the desk and the gun was in my hand. It was knocked out for just a moment, and that's when Lowell came in. I checked Anton's gun, it was empty, so I thought my shot killed him. Did you ever check the body? I was so in shock, I just took Lowell's word. The man was more worried about covering up the shooting than figuring out what happened. I see why you hid the truth. It certainly makes you sound guilty. If you only remember one shot before being knocked out, that means you weren't the killer. But hold on. How do we know he's telling the truth? I'm telling you the truth because my wife says she trusted you too. I have no reason to hide this. He told me he couldn't remember what happened either. And if he was lying to you two, he wouldn't lie to me. Then, who shot him? There was only one person who was in the room after the first bullet went off. Lowell. At the time of the first shot and Joy arriving upstairs, there was only one person there. Lowell Ledger. Lowell did it. This whole time. I'm thinking the same thing. If he saw the first shot, he just needed to fire a second shot to kill him. Then he could blackmail Mr. Eubank into thinking he pulled the trigger. I think we need to bring him in for questioning. That good think weasel. How dare he? He killed my friend. Blackmailed me. And tried to pin his murder on me. When I get my hands on him, that felt good. Now, would you kindly drag Lowell in here and charge him with murder? You can bring him in again, but charging him is harder. You don't have any decisive evidence. I'm going to stay. Someone has to make sure you two do your jobs right. To Eubank, please wait outside. We will be back here soon. And now seems like a good time to end things off for the now. Oop. When we return, Lowell's coming back. Until then.